so strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone.
No One Here Gets Out Alive was misunderstood to such an outrageous degree, and it's probably my fault, by implying that there's a chance Jim might be alive. But you have to understand, in No One Here Gets Out Alive, all I was doing was reporting on the versions of Jim's death that I knew of, and I certainly didn't invent the rumor that Jim might still be alive. As long as I was reporting the ways that Jim died, yes, he's dead, and here's the ways he might have died, and I list the theories, I felt it was also journalistically responsible to point out, on the other hand, there are those who won't have any of this. Jim is not dead, they claim, and I have to point out that this isn't as far-fetched as it might initially seem, because the guy had the exact type of personality that would stage his own death. He had the motivation to do it, he had the ability to do it, and he had the means to do it. He had the money, he had the reason, and he had the cause. He was up for jail time in Miami. The trial was going through appeals. He had the money to do it, and he was the type of personality that would do it. I didn't think that people would conclude that he had done it.
The father of Jim Morrison was George Stephen Morrison, a United States Navy Rear Admiral and naval aviator. Morrison was commander of the United States Naval Forces in the Gulf of Tonkin during the Gulf of Tonkin incident of August 1964, a false flag which sparked an escalation of American involvement in the Vietnam War. Like his father, Jim Morrison followed in his footsteps and was recruited into the CIA's Operation Chaos, an operation that was designed to infiltrate anti-war movements. Jim Morrison was one of the many children of military personnel that were sent to Laurel Canyon. Laurel Canyon was a breeding ground to train these individuals. The Doors and even the Manson family were created inside Laurel Canyon. And just like clockwork, once the Vietnam War was over, Jim Morrison supposedly died and his job was done.
Not long before he emerged as this figure that we see here, it was a very much different Jim Morrison, very clean-cut, collegiate, almost unrecognizable. You know, seeing his father off as he was about to leave, I think sailed out of San Diego for the Gulf of Tonkin, and within a year he had completely transformed himself physically and emerged as this rock star.
New update, ladies and gentlemen, inaugurated today on the EIV network. This is our euthanasia update.
Beautiful friend, this is the end, my only friend, the end. I'll never.
This is going to be a short one, so be ready on the clock.
You're not hungry? Or, how about you? Are you hungry? Oh, it's lunchtime. Oh, did you have breakfast this morning? You did? What'd you have?
Oh, little things like chocolate cake and tea here.
Is that all you had?
Yeah. That's
Hey,
all I
you should
want.
eat more, Howard.
You put on a lot of weight. Are you eating a lot?
Well, you know, that's something that really bothers me. What's wrong with being fat? That's what I want to know. Why is there such...
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it.
Why is it so onerous to be fat? I don't see anything wrong with fat, you know? I mean, I remember when I used to weigh 185 pounds. I'm the same height, I was the same height that I am now. I weighed 185 pounds. And I was going to college, and I had this food ticket at the cafeteria, and the cafeteria food is mainly all based on starch. You know, it's cheap food, right? And so I don't know what it was, but in order, I don't know, I just felt like I was, if you missed your meal, you just, you know, I just figured, well, I was getting screwed, right? If I missed a meal, I just blew it. So I'd get up at 6:30 every morning just to make breakfast, right? Eggs and grits and sausages and toast and milk. Then I'd go do a few classes and I'd make it in there for lunch. Mashed potatoes. You know, every now and then they'd put a little piece of meat in something, you know. Then I'd go to a few more classes, and then I'd go to dinner, and it was more mashed potatoes. And so about 3 months later, I was 185 pounds. And you know what? I felt so great. I felt like a tank. You know, I felt like a large mammal, a big beast. When I moved through the corridors or across the lawn, I just feel like I could knock anybody out of my way, you know? I was solid, man. It's terrible to be thin and wispy because, you know, you could get knocked over by a strong wind or something, you know? Fat is beautiful.